Hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you and welcome back once again to another class of PIB Current Affairs. In today's class, we are going to cover the PIB news from 12th and 13th of January 2026. Today's class, my dear friends, mark my words, is very important. A lot of important news are there today. So definitely there is going to be a lot of questions from today's class. So please give me a thumbs up if you guys can see me properly and can hear me properly, then I'll quickly start the class. If you haven't started yet for the 2026 examination, please start it and yeah, please give me a thumbs up if everything is fine, if you guys can see me properly and can hear me properly. Jaldi se bataiye so that we can start. And yes, before you ask, let me tell you, भाई नबार्ड का रिजल्ट फेज 1 का मतलब अब तो ये हो गया है कि चांद मिलना आसान है और नबार्ड का रिजल्ट मिलना बहुत मुश्किल हो चुका है। 25 तारीख को पेपर है फेज 2, on 25th we have phase 2 examination and less than only 10 days are left. Now ये बहुत ही गलत एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव मैसेज जा रहा है फ्रॉम दी नबार्ड कि भाई इतना डिले रिजल्ट्स के अंदर, जबकि रिजल्ट बनाने में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा एक दिन लगना चाहिए, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं लगना चाहिए, बट स्टिल इट इज़ गेटिंग अ लॉट डिलेड नाउ, बहुत ज़्यादा डिले हो रहा है। 10 दिन बचे हैं फेज 2 में, इससे बेटर है कि फेज 1 का रिजल्ट और फेज 2 का एडमिट कार्ड एक साथ ही दे दो। तो आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट्स द रीज़न बिहाइंड दिस डिले, but ठीक है चलो, we can't do anything, we do not have anything in our hands, we just can wait and watch, and that is something which is very bad about this competitive examination ecosystem. We have to sit like a I should not say this, I should not use this word, we have to sit like a mad person कि भाई बैठे हैं इंतजार कर रहे हैं कि साहब लोग जब रिजल्ट निकालेंगे तब हमारा कुछ बेड़ा पार होगा, एंड आई थिंक दैट्स वेरी बैड ऑन देयर साइड, बट चलो ठीक है, एनीवेज. Let us not waste any more time. Let's start with the very first question for the day. Question number 1, very important. Consider the following statements with respect to the NPS Vatsalya scheme and you need to identify the correct statements. Now remember one thing, whichever examination you are preparing for, in every exam they ask questions from the government schemes, whether it is RBI, whether it is NABARD, SEBI, other regulatory bodies exam, and these days also the bank PO examinations. In bank PO examination in 2025, a lot of questions were there from the government schemes, and this is a very important government scheme, especially for all these regulatory bodies and banking examination, right? So you have to you have to attend these PIB sessions to keep a track on all these government schemes. Now you must be wondering first of all that, sir, this particular scheme was launched in budget 24-25 and this was launched in the month of September 2024, then why are you talking about this particular scheme today? I am talking about this particular scheme, my dear friends, because PFRDA has done certain amendments in this in the withdrawal and exit rule. पहले इसमें withdrawal and exit allowed ही नहीं था, but now they have provided the withdrawal and exit options to the subscribers, ठीक है, and that is why we are talking about it. Okay, तो इसलिए इस स्कीम के बारे में पढ़ना दोस्तों जरूरी है. तो PFRDA issued the NPS Vatsalya scheme guidelines 2025 providing comprehensive information on the scheme. हर साल वो इसकी कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव गाइडलाइंस रिलीज करते हैं, तो पहले 24 के लिए रिलीज किया था, अब 25 वाला रिलीज किया, ऑल्दो वी आर इन द ईयर 2026, ठीक है. दैट इज नॉट इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस, व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस इज द फीचर्स ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर स्कीम. NPS Vatsalya, why it was launched? NPS, I hope you know NPS, it is National Pension Scheme. It is National Pension Scheme, right? Scheme or system, whatever you call it, ठीक है. And Vatsalya means what? Children or child, ठीक है. So it is a NPS scheme for children, right? It is an NPS scheme for the children, and this scheme, my dear friends, is designed specifically for minors, ठीक है. It has been designed specifically for minors to nurture the culture of saving from an early age, right? Introducing the minors to financial literacy and financial planning and strengthen the concept of long term financial security. देखो आज I am 34 years old, right? मेरे को आज भी नहीं पता कि कैसे इन्वेस्टमेंट की जाती है, कैसे सेविंग की जाती है, आई डोंट नो, ठीक है. फॉर दैट आई नीड टू आस्क माय फ्रेंड्स, आई नीड टू आस्क माय ask some experts, I need to watch some YT videos to go for these investments and savings, ठीक है. Today also I don't know, so this particular thing is very important that we have to provide the financial literacy and the concept, we have to explain the concept of long term financial security to our children so that they will be well aware of about their savings and investments, ठीक है. It was launched in the year 2024 by the Ministry of Finance, of course. Ministry, if they'll ask you, the Ministry of Finance, and if of course the nodal agency they are going to us, it will be PFRDA, Pension Fund Regulatory Development Authority of India, which is again the nodal implementing agency for NPS as well. All right. What is the eligibility? Who can open the NPS savings account? All Indian citizens who are aged below the age of 18 years. 18 साल से कम के सारे Indian citizens can open the account. There is no special special preference given to any particular section. And not only this, NRIs and OCIs, that is non-resident Indians and overseas citizens of India, they can also open the accounts if they are under 18 years of age, right? Parents or legal guardians, they will open and they will manage the account on behalf of the minor till the minor attains the 18 years of age. जब तक वो 18 एज का नहीं हो जाता तब तक के लिए पेरेंट्स और या फिर जो लीगल गार्जियन होंगे दे विल मैनेज एंड ओपन द अकाउंट. The nominees for the account will be either the parent or a guardian. जो nominees होंगे अकाउंट के या तो पेरेंट्स होंगे या तो फिर कोई ना कोई गार्जियन होंगे. ठीक है. Next, the management rights, my dear friends, will only be transferred after the completion of required KYC process post completion of 18 years as beneficiary. So, as the scheme is saying that after 18 years of age, till 18 years of age, the parent or the guardian shall be the manager of the account, but these managing rights shall be transferred to the beneficiary only after a required KYC process. Okay. Upon transitioning, the features, benefits and exit norms of NPS tier 1 for all citizen model of NPS will apply. यानी कि after attaining 18 years of age, if the subscriber attains 18 years of age, he will have two options. Either he or she can exit from the scheme or he or she can continue. If he or she decides to continue, then it will be converted to a normal NPS tier 1 account. ठीक है, वो NPS tier 1 अकाउंट में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा. ठीक है. What is the minimum contribution? It is rupees 250. The minimum annual contribution. There is no limit on maximum contribution, and contribution can also be gifted by the relatives and friends. और यहाँ पे होता है खेल बहुत बड़ा. ठीक है, वो खेल ये होता है कि गिफ्ट के फॉर्म में लोग अपने ब्लैक मनी को व्हाइट करना स्टार्ट कर देते हैं. राइट. चलिए. Regulated of course by PFRDA. Incentive. There is an incentive for promotion. ठीक है. So if the Anganwadi workers, if the ASHA workers and if the bank sakhis, they promote, they facilitate the onboarding of subscriber to the scheme, then per subscription they get 100 rupees incentive. उनको 100 रुपए incentive मिलता है. ठीक है. और जो पैसा NPS अकाउंट में जमा होगा, right, the money which is deposited in the NPS account shall be invested in different class assets. ठीक है. और जिसमें of course कोई ना कोई लिमिट है. सबसे पहला गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज एंड रिलेटेड इन्वेस्टमेंट्स में लिमिट कितनी है? 15 to 20%. दीज आर इंडिकेटिव लिमिट्स ऑफ कोर्स. डेट इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स एंड रिलेटिव इन्वेस्टमेंट्स 10 to 30%. शॉर्ट टर्म डेट इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स एंड रिलेटेड इन्वेस्टमेंट्स अप टू 10%. एंड इक्विटी एंड रिलेटेड इन्वेस्टमेंट 50 to 75%. यानी मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द इन्वेस्टमेंट विल बी डन इन इक्विटी. ठीक है जी. मेजॉरिटी ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट किसमें होगी? इक्विटी में होगी दोस्तों. क्लियर है. नाउ देयर आर सम विड्रॉल रूल्स एज वेल. विड्रॉल रूल्स है, पार्शियली विड्रॉ कर सकते हैं, 100% विड्रॉ का कोई भी प्रोविजन नहीं है. तो पार्शियल विड्रॉल इज अलाउड. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इट इज अलाउड, बट अप टू 25% ऑफ ओन कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस एक्सक्लूडिंग रिटर्न्स. सो फॉर एग्जांपल 100 रुपए कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट किए थे, बट उस पर रिटर्न मान लेते हैं 10% का था, तो टोटल कॉर्पस कितना है? 110 रुपए का. तो 110 का 25% नहीं निकाल सकते. द पार्शियल विड्रॉल इज अलाउड 25% of this 100 rupees, not this 110. Alright, so 25% of own contribution excluding return is allowed. But this partial withdrawal, my dear friends, is allowed only for specific cases, for specific reasons. क्या reasons है? या तो minor subscriber के education के लिए, या फिर treatment of specified illnesses of the minor subscriber. Do remember specified illnesses, not all illnesses. खांसी जुकाम के लिए वो नहीं हो सकता. And if unfortunately if the subscriber gets disabled, of more than 75% of the minor subscriber. ठीक है. अगर डिसेबिलिटी उसकी 75% से ज्यादा हो जाती है माइनर सब्सक्राइबर की, इन दैट केस ऑल्सो पार्शियल विड्रॉल इज अलाउड, बट अगेन ओनली अप टू 25%. ठीक है. देयर इज वन मोर कंडीशन. द पार्शियल विड्रॉल इज अलाउड ओनली आफ्टर कंप्लीशन ऑफ 3 years फ्रॉम द डेट ऑफ ओपनिंग ऑफ अकाउंट, एंड इट इज अलाउड ओनली ट्वाइस बिफोर 18 years एंड ट्वाइस बिटवीन 18 to 21 years सब्जेक्ट टू द अबव कंडीशंस. ठीक है. 18 साल की उम्र से पहले 2 बार कर सकते हैं और 18 से 21 साल की उम्र में 2 बार कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. क्लियर हो गया भाई? चलिए आगे चलते हैं. व्हाट इज द कंटिन्यूएशन एंड एग्जिट प्रोविजन अपॉन मेजॉरिटी? ठीक है. इफ व्हेन द सब्सक्राइबर अटेन्स द मेजॉरिटी, देन क्या होगा? सबसे पहले तो फ्रेश केवाईसी होगा. फ्रेश केवाईसी इज मैंडेटरी ऑन अटेनिंग 18 years of age. ओके. देन the subscriber shall continue under the scheme for a period of up to 3 years unless the subscriber opts to exit the scheme or opts to shift under the NPS, right? He or she can continue the scheme for a period up to 3 years, यानी up to 21 years of age, right? और या फिर unless the subscriber opts to exit the scheme or opts to shift under the NPS. अगर shift होना चाहेगा NPS में, so it will be automatically converted to NPS tier 1 account. And if he or she, if the subscriber wants to exit, then there will be two options. ठीक है, दो options होंगे, जो पैसा है वो किस फॉर्म में वापस आएगा. So सबसे पहला क्या है, up to 80% of the accumulated corpus may be taken as the lump sum and the balance must be reinvestment in an annuity plan. यानी कि अगर अगेन 100 रुपए जमा हुए हैं, आउट ऑफ दिस 100 रुपीज 80 रुपीज कैन बी विड्रॉल. ठीक है, 80 रुपीज जो है वापस मिल जाएंगे. ठीक है, वो वापस ले सकते हैं एक्यूमुलेटेड कॉर्पस का 80% एंड द रेस्ट दैट इज 20% शैल बी रीइन्वेस्टेड इन एन एन्युटी प्लान. ठीक है, हाउएवर डू रिमेंबर इफ द कॉर्पस इज लेस देन रुपीज 8 लाख, if the corpus is 8 lakh or less than rupees 8 lakh, then in that case full withdrawal is permitted. 8 लाख से ऊपर वाला, अगर 8 लाख से ऊपर का कॉर्पस है तो फिर ये वाली कंडीशन होगी, up to 80% of the accumulated corpus can be withdrawn and rest will have to be reinvested in an annuity plan. And if the total corpus is 8 lakh or less than 8 lakh, then in that case full withdrawal is permitted. ठीक है, clear है? So this is my dear friends NPS Vatsalya scheme. I hope the entire scheme is clear. If yes, please give me a thumbs up. जल्दी से बता दीजिए. चलिए, so let's identify the incorrect statements. All Indian citizens, NRIs and OCIs under 18 years of age can join the scheme. Yes, this is absolutely correct. The partial withdrawal of up to 30% of own contributions excluding returns is allowed. Is it 30%? It is, my dear friends, 25%, not 30%. Anganwadi, Asha, Bank Sakhis are entitled for 100 rupees incentive for facilitating onboarding of subscribers to the scheme. बिल्कुल सही. And if the subscriber opts to exit, up to 75% of the accumulated corpus may be taken as the lump sum. No, it is 80%, not 75%. So this is incorrect. So the incorrect statements are only 2 and 4. The right answer, my dear friends, is option B. Clear है? Clear? ठीक है, option B is the correct answer to this particular question. चलिए, let's move ahead to question number 2. Very, very important again. It is about the Responsible Nations Index, which is led by our प्यारा भारत, India. राइट, क्या है ये, इसके बारे में बात करेंगे, डोंट वरी. तो कंसीडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स विद रिस्पेक्ट टू रिस्पांसिबल नेशंस इंडेक्स एंड आइडेंटिफाई द करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. This has yet not released. It is going to be released on 19th of January 2026. At that point of time, we'll discuss it again. But what is it? What are the dimensions? How many countries are going to be covered? Let's talk about it. So, Responsible Nation Index, which is led by India, is going to be formally released on 19th of January 2026 at Dr. Ambedkar International Center in New Delhi. Okay, what is it? It is India's first globally anchored index, right? Which means it will cover the other countries as well. It is not Indian index. ठीक है, Responsible Nations Index है, यानी कि इसके अंदर बहुत सारी countries covered होंगी. ठीक है, so it is India's first globally anchored index which has been designed to assess the countries on the basis of responsible governance, social well-being, environmental stewardship and global responsibility. This, I believe, is the first index which is talking about the social well-being. It is talking about the environmental stewardship. It is talking about the global responsibility. It is not talking about the GDP growth. It is not talking about the expansion of national income. It is not talking about the expansion of trade. It is talking about how much a country cares for its citizens. Okay, this index is all about this particular thing. Okay, it will be launched by World Intellectual Foundation in collaboration with JNU, IIM Mumbai and Dr. Ambedkar International Center, and total 150 countries are going to be covered under this particular index. Okay, there will be three dimensions. There will be three dimensions of this index. All the countries will be assessed based on the three dimensions. कौन से? Number one, internal responsibility, which is focusing on dignity, justice and the well-being of citizens. ठीक है, हर देश की internal responsibility बनती है to ensure the dignity, to ensure the equal justice and to ensure the well-being of the citizens. The first dimension. The second dimension will be environmental responsibility, covering the stewardship of natural resources and climate action. And the third dimension will be external responsibility, and which will be measured by countries' contribution to peace, cooperation and global stability. एक्सटर्नल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इससे मेजर नहीं की जाएगी कि उस कंट्री का ग्लोबल इकोनॉमी में कितना कंट्रीब्यूशन है, इससे मेजर की जाएगी कि उस पर्टिकुलर कंट्री का पीस, कोऑपरेशन और ग्लोबल स्टेबिलिटी में क्या कंट्रीब्यूशन है. ठीक है, सो आई बिलीव इट इज अ वंडरफुल इंडेक्स and let's see on 19 January we'll have the results, we'll discuss about the results as well. All right, chaliye, so let's solve this question now. Let's identify the correct statement. It is India's first globally anchored index designed to assess countries on the basis of responsible governance, social well-being, environmental stewardship and global responsibility. Correct. It will be launched by World Intellectual Foundation. Correct. Total 193 countries will be covered under the index. Not 193, 154 countries are going to be covered, and the index is based on 4 core dimensions. No, my dear friends, there are 3 core dimensions. This is also incorrect. The right answer is option C. Only 1 and 2 are the correct statements. Clear? चलिए, और भाई आप लोग लाइव क्लास में क्यों नहीं आते? जो लोग बाद में भी देखते हैं, थोड़ा बहुत लाइव में आ जाओगे तो मुझे थोड़ी सी मोटिवेशन मिलती है यार. मैंने आप लोगों को पहले भी बताया था, पर ठीक है, चलो. एनीवेज, प्रगति वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. प्रगति स्टैंड्स फॉर प्रोएक्टिव गवर्नेंस एंड टाइमली इंप्लीमेंटेशन. आपने सुना होगा प्रगति मीटिंग्स के बारे में. अरे सुना है कि नहीं सुना है? प्रगति मीटिंग्स के बारे में आपने सुना होगा, विच इज चेयर्ड बाय द प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ द कंट्री, राइट? So it stands for proactive governance and timely implementation. It is an integrated platform designed to both resolve grievances of and to monitor and review key programs of the government of India along with projects highlighted by the state governments. In which year Pragati was launched? That is the question. So let's talk about Pragati and then we will come back to the question. Pragati, my dear friends, as you can see, it stands for proactive governance and timely implementation. It is government of India's flagship platform for fast tracking projects, schemes and grievance redressal through direct real time review by the Prime Minister. So ऐसे project, ठीक है, the projects which have taken, which have been implemented for so long and they are stopped or maybe they are not being completed on time due to some reason. अब कोई भी project हो सकता है, scheme हो सकती है या फिर कोई भी grievance redressal हो सकता है. तो ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट्स को, ऐसे स्कीम्स को और ऐसे ग्रीवेंस रिड्रेस, ऐसे ग्रीवेंसेस को प्राइम मिनिस्टर जो है वो डायरेक्टली रिव्यू करते हैं एंड ही दिस दिस एंटायर कमिटी ट्राइज टू रिजॉल्व एंड ट्राई टू फास्ट ट्रैक द पर्टिकुलर प्रोजेक्ट एज सून एज पॉसिबल. ठीक है, दैट इज द होल आइडिया बिहाइंड प्रगति. सो इट इज एन इंटीग्रेटेड प्लेटफॉर्म डिजाइन टू बोथ रिजॉल्व ग्रीवेंसेस ऑफ एंड टू मॉनिटर एंड रिव्यू द की प्रोग्राम ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया अलॉन्ग विद प्रोजेक्ट्स हाईलाइटेड बाय द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स. इट वाज लॉन्च्ड in the year 2015. Now, isse pehle when Prime Minister Narendra Modi was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, he introduced something called as Swagat, right? Something called as Swagat, which is, which stands for statewide attention on grievances by application of technology. Okay? This Pragati draws the inspiration from Swagat only. Pragati draws the inspiration from Swagat only, this which was launched by Gujarat government, then led by the current Prime Minister Narendra Modi for grievance redressal, right? The PM chairs the review meetings to resolve issues related to identify projects and schemes. Clear? Pragati दोस्तों बहुत important है and recently the 50th meeting of Pragati happened and that is why we are talking about Pragati in so much detail. ठीक है, what is the impact of Pragati? So the Pragati has created impact in 4 dimensions. Number 1, economic. So economic इम्पैक्ट ऐसे है कि देखो जब प्रोजेक्ट्स में डिले हो जाता है तो उससे सिर्फ प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट नहीं बढ़ती, उससे वो नुकसान भी होता है जो वो प्रोजेक्ट जो है या वो एसेट जो है वो इकोनॉमिक रिटर्न दे सकता था. ठीक है, तो ये डबल एज्ड स्वॉर्ड है. एक तरफ हम प्रोजेक्ट डिले करके उसमें जो कॉस्ट पहले अगर मान लो 50 करोड़ का प्रोजेक्ट था, होते 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 100 करोड़ का हो गया डिलेज की वजह से, राइट? और प्लस जो वो एसेट अगर बन जाता आज से 10 साल पहले तो वो जो इकोनॉमिक रिटर्न देता वो भी नुकसान है. तो बेसिकली it is providing us the economic benefit, the Pragati. Then it is providing us the social impact. It is creating the social impact as well because faster completion means communities benefit earlier, right? Because agar, for example, let's take an example of a road which is being constructed in a rural village, in a rural area. So if the road is completed quickly, of course it is going to benefit the rural people because it is going to provide the market access for the products of the rural areas, thereby again providing the economic returns. Right? Positive governance. Pragati is not only about expediting projects, my dear friends, it also strengthens the culture of delivery. It is not only about expediting the projects or completing the projects, it also strengthens the culture of delivery. The government is now focusing on delivering the projects, not only just launching it. ठीक है, through Pragati the government is focusing on that. And the fourth, which is very important, environmental modernization, of course, cannot come at the cost of sustainability. Pragati supports responsible development by helping the fast track environment related decision making while keeping safeguards in view. ठीक है, तो चार तरीके से इम्पैक्ट क्रिएट करता है ये प्रगति. ठीक है, आई होप इट इज क्लियर. तो क्वेश्चन बहुत इजी है. इन विच ईयर प्रगति वाज लॉन्च्ड? इट वाज लॉन्च्ड इन द ईयर 2015. द राइट आंसर इज ऑप्शन बी. Right, option B is the correct answer, my dear friends, to this particular question. चलिए, let's move ahead to the news in short. ठीक है, बहुत लोग questions in short से समझते नहीं थे, तो मैंने इसका नाम चेंज करके कर दिया news in short. ठीक है, जिसको हम पढ़ते हैं questions की फॉर्म में. न्यूज इन शॉर्ट मतलब जितना, जैसे प्रगति में बहुत सारी डिटेल थी, एनपीएस वात्सल्य में बहुत सारी डिटेल थी, ये वो न्यूज है जिनमें बहुत सारी डिटेल्स नहीं है. राइट, एंड इफ यू वांट टू हैव द पीडीएफ ऑफ दिस क्लास, जस्ट स्कैन दिस क्यूआर कोड, join the telegram channel and get the PDFs. Clear? चलिए, which institution has signed an MOU with the National Dairy Development Board to enhance collaboration in multidisciplinary research, innovation and capacity building across the entire dairy sector? This institution, very straightforward question है ना, न्यूज बस यही है that ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, has signed an MOU with NDDB, National Dairy Development Board. For what purpose? For enhancing collaboration in multidisciplinary research, innovation and capacity building in the dairy sector. That's it. इसमें और ज्यादा कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. The right answer is option A. ठीक है, so that is why I am providing such news in short in the form of questions. Clear? Next question. Name the platform of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change designed to improve the coordination and collaboration among institutions of the ministry. Very important question. ऐसे छोटी छोटी चीजें ना तुम्हें बस पीआईबी में मिलेंगे और यहीं से क्वेश्चन आता है एग्जाम में, फिर हम ये सोचते रहते हैं कि कहाँ से आता है. And for those who don't know what PIB is, PIB, my dear friends, is the Press Information Bureau, which is the official website of the Government of India. Press Information Bureau, right? The platform is Nirantar, which stands for National Institute for Research and Application of Natural Resources to transform, adapt and build resilience. Very long full form. They are not going to ask the full form. Just remember the platform of Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, which coordinates and collaborates among the institutions of the ministry. The right answer is Nirantar. Question number 6, very important again. Which state has signed an MOU with Digital India Corporation, that is India AI, to strengthen the AI ecosystem in the state under the India AI mission? The state in question is Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh has signed this particular MOU. Next question. The meeting of 16th ASEAN Defense Ministers meeting plus, ADMM plus इसको बोलते हैं, in short ADMM plus, right? Experts working group on counter terrorism is scheduled to be held in New Delhi. ठीक है, इसी महीने होगी न्यू दिल्ली में. Which country along with India will chair the meeting? ठीक है, this India and Malaysia are going to co-chair this meeting. 16th ADMM plus expert working group on counter terrorism. Very very important. ठीक है, कहाँ होगा ये याद रखना है. कहाँ पे होगा जी? न्यू दिल्ली में होगा. और को-चेयर कौन करेगा? इंडिया एंड मलेशिया, ये याद रखना है. ओके, इंडिया विल पार्टिसिपेट इन सेकंड ग्लोबल समिट ऑन ब्लू फूड सिक्योरिटी, सी द फ्यूचर. इन विच कंट्री द समिट विल टेक प्लेस? द समिट विल टेक प्लेस इन द कंट्री ऑफ इजराइल. द राइट आंसर इज ऑप्शन डी. आई डोंट नो इट इजराइल में होगा भी कैसे, इजराइल तो लड़ता ही रहता. ठीक है, चलो एनीवेज. Question number 9, in which university vice president has inaugurated the drug free campus campaign? ठीक है, कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटी में वाइस प्रेसिडेंट सीपी राधाकृष्णन has inaugurated the drug free campus campaign? Of course, the objective is to make the campus drug free. It has been inaugurated in Delhi University, which is India's one of the top universities, right? The last question for today, very very important, बहुत ही important और बहुत ही उम्दा question है. The PFRDA has constituted a high level committee tasked with formulating guidelines and regulations to enable a framework for assured payouts under the NPS. अभी आपको पता होगा under NPS what happens is the returns are based on the market. ठीक है, if the market is up, your returns are up. If the market is down, your returns are down. But PFRDA has now constituted this particular committee which will formulate the guidelines and regulations to ensure, to create a framework for assured payouts, ताकि NPS के अंदर assured payouts मिल सके to the subscribers. ठीक है. This move aligns with the provision of PFRD Act and aims to enhance the security of retirement income for subscribers. Who is the chairperson of this committee? The chairperson is the ex-chairman of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India, Dr. M.S. Sahu. The right answer is option C. He was the chairperson of uh, he was the former chairperson of he is the former chairperson of IBBI, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. Okay. All right, my dear friends, that's it for today's class. I hope all the questions and their explanations are clear. If you have any doubts, please ask me. Otherwise, give me the thumbs up. Weekly PIB magazine, I think it is already available in the course. I'll check with the team. I'll check in the course. If not, I'll tell them to upload as soon as possible, because from my side, I have provided the second week's magazine as well. आज 14 तारीख है तो मैंने सेकेंड वीक की मैगजीन भी दे दी है. चलिए, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Otherwise, give me a thumbs up, my dear friends. Sir, I do daily quiz after watching your PIB finance news video. Do I need to note down those questions which I couldn't solve as they were not from your videos? You can do that. You can revise those questions again, Marina. And today's class was very, very important. You can expect a lot of question there. Acha, Bhavesh Gauri is also saying that it is not available for January 2026. I'll check in the course, my dear friends. Don't worry. I am right now checking it and बात करता हूँ भाई क्या प्रॉब्लम है, कैसे नहीं अपलोड हुआ. Because from my side I have already provided. I'm saying that today is the 14th January. I have provided the second week's PDF as well. तो अगर अभी तक नहीं हुई है तो I will talk to them. चलिए, I think there are no doubts, so let's wind it up. I'll see you in the next class, that is on Friday. Till then, keep studying and keep studying hard. Goodbye, take care, and God bless.